Here's the creepypasta I wrote for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. Just give me 1 second. Now it's time for my creepypasta. I should have paid attention in reading class. By me. School isn't my strong suit. I don't really enjoy going to class. But school is something you're physically required to do by law and by your parents pushing you to be more successful in life. To me, I didn't really care about school. I just went to class, did my job, and then left. School kind of reminds me of having a job, but it doesn't pay. So oftentimes in class, I just sit down and not do my work and just sleep or play around. However, what I would later learn, sometimes it's important to pay attention, or you'll miss important details. It all started in the 7th grade. I hated my reading class the most. My teacher, Miss Fraser, was just the most annoying person to listen to. She'd frequently go to detail about things that aren't even significant in books and novels. She'd tell us her favorite book and then go into a huge monologue telling us why it's significant to everyday life. Me, I just didn't care. I came to class bored and just didn't want to pay attention and get more worried about what I was going to do after school. However, as fate does to certain people, it soon bit me in the ass. It all started one day I was in Miss Fraser's class. We were reading a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. You may have heard this poem. I didn't pay attention much, but I remember just what happened. The main character killed somebody and ended up putting them in the floorboards. Soon, insanity and guilt overtook him, and he told the cops. At the time, I couldn't care less what the story was about. But now in present day, I respect Poe more than any other poet to exist. After she finished reading the poem, she looked up to the class. Hope you enjoyed the story. Now everyone study this poem, and we will do a test tomorrow. After that, we all picked up our stuff and left. But before I could leave, Miss Fraser said, Hey Jamie, could you stay after class? Sure, I have time to kill, I told her with an attitude, because I found her ignorant and annoying. Jamie, so it's come to my attention that you don't pay attention to my class, Miss Fraser said as she looked at me dead in the eyes, with a tense look on her face. Now I was just pissed off. Not only did she not let me go home, but she made me sit here and listen to her rambling about how I didn't pay attention. Look, Miss Fraser, I don't care. This class is absolutely boring, and I haven't learned anything that I would need for the future, I told her as her face went from tense to upset. I'm warning you, Jamie, if you don't pay attention to certain things, details in your life can go wrong. It's always important to pay attention, because you might miss something important. See you tomorrow, Jamie. She looked more disappointed now than I've ever seen her. That night, I pondered to myself. Part of me felt guilty that I gave her sass and didn't pay attention. However, the other part of me, however, didn't care. I just wanted to go to sleep. Slowly and slowly, after a long day, my eyes start to drift, and I feel slumber coming on the horizon. Ow, my head. Why am I up in the middle of the night? I whispered to myself. Now I'm concerned. I usually never wake up in the middle of the night. What was the problem here? Where the hell am I? I look around the room. It's a badly lit room with a chair in the middle with a little light shining above it.
Sit, Jamie.
I heard a woman whisper. The woman sounded quiet and soft sounding. Her voice sounded like light wind blowing in your ear. So I decided to be respectful and just take a seat, even even though I was unaware of my surroundings.
Hello, Jamie. How's reading class?
The voice said in a quieter tone. How do you know about reading class? I told her in a confused tone. Jamie,
Jamie, you're a kid. I'm pretty sure every kid has a reading class.
she said with a bit more sass in her voice. I chuckled a bit. I felt a bit more safe from my surroundings.
Do you know where you are, Jamie?
The voice asked a bit louder. No, I'm just confused why I woke up in the middle of the night, I said with hesitation in my voice. Suddenly, an ear-piercing scream noise was heard from behind me. The sound was not pleasant. It was like nails on a chalkboard, but a bit quieter and inhuman-like.
I told you to pay attention. I told you you might miss things. Here you are, confused.
I jumped in fear as her voice lowered. Then I heard loud thumping footsteps that just kept getting closer and closer to me. All of a sudden, click. A light turns on the side of me. The sight I see makes my stomach churn the minute I look at it. There was a chalkboard with 4 nails, and the nails were holding down 4 heads. They were brutally mutilated. Blood was going down the eye sockets. Their noses were cut in half. What concerned me the most wasn't all that detail or the blood going down every single face. It was the smile. All the faces were smiling. They were smiling as if they enjoyed the pain they were probably feeling. What the hell are you? Are you sick or something? I yelled, mortified at the unpleasant sight my eyes have grazed upon.
You should have paid attention, Jamie. You should have paid attention, Jamie.
The voice yelled with a now demonic sounding voice. The demonic voice sounded like a classroom speaker with a dark tone, sounding like an old man. I had enough. I jumped and ran out of the chair and ran out of the room. But as I kept running and running, it was like I was going in circles. Every time I ran forward, I always just got back in that stupid chair. It's
Useless running.
It said as the demonic voice started to get a bit higher pitch. But then it just started laughing. It just started laughing for a good 45 seconds before looking up at me, and I saw a face. It was a young girl. She had long blonde hair and brownish blue eyes, and was bleeding down her eyes with a smile. Jane?
Jamie.
The voice came from the little girl as she kept repeating my name until I felt my eyes drift to sleep. The last thing I saw was a knife heading to my forehead as I drifted asleep. Jamie. Jamie. Jamie! I jumped out of my seat, now confused. I was in the middle of the classroom, but not just any classroom. My reading teacher's classroom. Now I was horrified and was unready to continue with class after the strange dream I had. See, Jamie, I told you if you didn't pay attention, you'd miss important details. I know, miss, I'm sorry. I need to go. I don't know what's happening. I hold back tears as I start to run out of the class. However, the door slams in my face. I turn around to see Miss Fraser. Pay it.
Attention, Jamie. Pay attention, Jamie.
Miss Fraser said angrily as her face started to warp. She turned into that wretched young girl that I saw in a nightmare. She picked me up and threw me in a chair and tied me down. And then I was out. She smacked me with a wooden mallet, and my eyes started to close. Now here I am stuck in this class, unable to leave, with just me pondering my thoughts. As I reminisce about life in general. Now I know what I truly did was wrong. Now I know I should have paid attention in reading class.